What's up, everyone? Bear with me for a moment. We're getting ready to listen to a little of what Candace Owens has to say. And like I've told you before, uh, I started following Candace Owens, and I'm not a Candace Owens fan, but she started to make a lot of sense in the last few months that I've been following her. And she's now getting ready to release something that she says is going to prove what she's been saying all along. So let's just take a listen and hear what she's saying. I think this is a part of the Young Turks, their actual presentation. So let's just listen to Candace's private message that she has here, and I'll follow back up after. I have been feeling as though these pastors are just not as honest as they should be. So many people were racing to establish that his legacy was anything but Catholic, right? Like he was super duper Judeo-Christian. It registered to me like more of a cult. So Charlie's faith and what direction it was going into would actually matter, right? It would actually matter if Charlie, and I never said he was going to, decided one day to become Catholic. It would have financial implications. So Charlie writes in this group chat, just lost another huge Jewish donor. All right, everyone, you see that in those texts that now have been confirmed by Turning Point that they are authentic. It appears that there was a rift, that Kirk himself was coming to a realization. He was starting to change some of his ideology. And there is, sort of a thought process that is happening with a lot of people that this was inside job, that this was a hit. There have been allegations made against Israel carrying out the hit. There are a lot of allegations floating around on the internet and on the social media platforms. And so Candace has now put out some receipts that shows that a lot of Kirk's major donors were pulling away from him because of his association with Tucker Carlson. And they wanted him to actually break his friendship with Tucker, and he refused to. So Candace, who apparently was a close friend of Charlie, she never believed the evidence that was being presented. She has said all along she thought that it was sort of looking fabricated. It was suspect at best, I would say. And now she's putting truth to power. She's actually exposing some of the nonsense. And she's also very brilliant to the point where she has put a insurance policy in place in case anything ever happens to her. She's not taking any chances. She has actually around 8 to 10 people who will release immediately everything if something happens to her. So she's a smart woman. I have to give her credit for what she's doing, because there are a lot of evil people in our society who want the truth to actually be silent. They don't want the truth to be heard. They're trying to keep as much of the truth buried. They're trying to actually keep the truth suppressed. And so when you have voices from the right who are willing and not afraid to speak out, it kind of brings about a breath of fresh air to this stale, corrupt administration that we're actually all living under. So, again, if you haven't seen the full excerpt of Candace Owens sharing her private message, you should do so. And this is amazing that Candace is bold enough to stand out there on her own and do this. Another thing that is not any relationship with this Candace Owens message is that people who are supporting Trump, they normally just take what he tells them without any type of critical thinking. They have no type of critical thinking skills left in their brain cells. They only move when he tells them to move. I think he told the Proud Boys years ago to stand by or stand up and stand by. They all stood at attention, waiting on him to give them some type of order, as if they're zombies waiting on the zombie master to give them new commands. So I'm glad that people are finally starting to wake up and understand that something is not right. Something is going on, and the truth must be told. I'm even encouraged to hear that Marjorie Taylor Greene is speaking out against some of the policies that are taking place. These are people who are not on the good side of the left or on the great side of Democrats, but their constituents are telling them that they're being hit. Their constituents are telling them that they're feeling the pain, that this is not working, that this experiment with owning the libs is not working. So we can start to see shreds of light breaking through the dark abyss of MAGA. And hopefully one day, this entire thing will actually just be exposed and all of us will be able to see some justice take place within our society, starting with the felon who we have in the White House and all of those who are so willingly to put their lives on the line by breaking the law and by actually going against the Constitution. I'm hoping that justice will rain down once this administration is out of office, and that those who are saying, I was simply following orders, doing as I was told, understand that one day they must be held accountable for their actions, that this will not just, be swept under the rug. You will end up having to face consequences for your actions. Thank you all for listening and supporting me, and for all of you who have recently subscribed. Please follow me on YouTube under Charles Van Horn 53. And if you have not subscribed, please do so. I thank you very much. Keep telling others about me as well. And until we speak again, stay safe. And most of all, stay woke.